Hello, I'm Carolyn Rasmussen, and this is David Quisenberry, and we're going to be uh, tag teaming this. I'm a Pampered Chef consultant, and I've been with Pampered Chef for 11 years. And then David's going to tell you a little bit about himself while I finish prepping some of this stuff, and then we're going to get cooking.
Thank you. So as she mentioned, my name is David Quisenberry. I'm a certified health coach. Tonight we're having two of my favorite, what I call fall type meals. We're having buffalo chicken dip, which is my favorite, like on college day, game day or Monday Night Football. And they were having zuppa toscano soup. I love the soup at Olive Garden. And to me, this is basically the same. It's just a little bit healthier. Let me tell you just a little bit about my background. When I was in my 40s, my wife and I both had a couple of health things come up. She got an autoimmune disease called Hashimoto's, and I had congestive heart failure from a dentist appointment of all things. So needless to say, we realized that we needed to make some health changes. So I'd gained about 30 pounds and my wife had gained about 50, actually about 35. And in the past, I'd always been the guy that said, if I want to lose weight, I'll just go do a lot of high intensity workout. I'll do some running, lift some weights. Well, with my heart the way it was, I really couldn't do that at the time. And so my wife started looking for diets, and we spent probably 8 years doing every one of the popular diets that you hear about. And we had different results from them. Every single time my wife tried one, she never lost over 6 pounds. We followed them 100%. Now, I didn't have that problem. I could lose weight. I probably lost 20 pounds every time. Over a 10-year period, I probably lost 200 pounds. Well, that's not true. I lost 20 pounds 10 times, the same 20 pounds, just lose them, gain them back, lose them, gain them back. And so I was really tired of doing all this. But we had a big life event come up. My wife's oldest son was getting married, and she said, I just don't want to be uncomfortable in my outfit. It's a wonderful day. I want to dance with my son. And so she said, can we try something else? And I was really tired of trying. I was tired of the lose, gain, lose, gain, lose, gain. So, but someone was talking to me about a healthy lifestyle. In my mind, that was just another term for a diet. And I told my wife about it. And I said, I'll try one last time with you. So we started. And at the end of week one, my wife goes and gets on the scale, and she had lost 7 pounds. That's one more pound than she'd ever lost in 10 years trying. I hopped on the scale and I lost 6. And I said, honey, that's awesome. And then I quietly went in the kitchen. I got some batteries, put them in the scale, measured again, 6 pounds. Guys are supposed to lose weight faster than women. I'm very competitive. She lost more weight than I did every week until we reached about 24 pounds. By the end of week one, I realized the big difference between a diet and a healthy lifestyle. A diet's about counting points, counting calories, cheat days. A healthy lifestyle is about changing habits, mindsets, and emotional triggers. It's just important about what's in here is what goes into here. So let me show you a quick picture of our before and after. So this is us. We actually started October the 19th, 5 years ago. So we're coming up on our first anniversary. And I reached my weight goal right after Christmas, and she reached her weight goal in very early spring. As I mentioned, I lost 35 pounds, and yet another failed diet I didn't do. She lost 50 pounds and got back her energy and better sleep, and both of us had hope for the future. Let me flip back out here real quick. There we go. See what else I was going to mention. The other thing I was going to mention is people ask me, well, what is it about? So the thing that a healthy lifestyle involves, and this is what I did. This is not something I invented. I did it. I had a coach who was there to support me, added in some, accountability, was there the whole way. Anytime I work with someone, I coach them, I'm available. I had a great nutrition plan. I didn't count calories. I didn't count points. I didn't go for cheat days. I had an education, which was the most important thing for me. I mentioned habits and mindsets and emotional triggers. Quick examples of those, mindsets when you're told when you're little to eat all the food on your plate because there's children starving in foreign countries. So all my life, I ate all the food was on my plate, no matter how to put it there. A habit is when you go out to eat Mexican food every Friday night, you have to start with queso because it doesn't work without that. And emotional triggers, like if I had a great day at work, I deserved a glass of wine. And if I had a wretched day at work, I deserved the whole bottle. So basically, I was either celebrating or commiserating with food or drink. So I learned to start recognizing those habits and making changes. We have a great support community. So if you're interested in learning more about it, see if it might be a fit for you. We have a special I'm offering for a week through next Wednesday. It's easy to contact me on Facebook. It's just my name, David Quisenberry. Or if you want to, you can go to the website, quisenberryhealth.com. I don't try to sell you anything. I just have a conversation and you decide if what your goals are is a good match for what we offer. I'm going to turn it over to Carolyn now and let her start making some of my favorite meals.
Awesome, David. Thank you so much for sharing all that. I love that it's a healthy lifestyle. That's important to me. So as a Pampered Chef consultant, I love the fact that I can now help people figure out how to cook for that healthy lifestyle. That's what my husband and I do. We work really hard at eating healthy. And not to mention, in this current market, you want to be able to save money too. It's expensive to eat out and it's expensive to not plan your meals. So it's a win-win, right? You can save money and you can cook at home and be more in control of what's going in your mouth, and just sparingly go out to eat, and then know how to go out to eat based on what David would tell you, so you can be successful. So like he said, we're going to do this buffalo chicken dip and the soup. I can't say it.
Zuppa Toscano.
Zuppa Toscano soup. And so I've kind of started along the process so that we're not watching the boring parts. But I'm going to show you some really cool tips and tricks and some of our awesome tools. So I'm going to start off over here, and I'm going to use our enameled cast iron 2-quart casserole dish to make this dip. It's going to be gorgeous. Y'all, it's a gray on the outside and kind of a light gray white on the inside. It's great from oven to table, which reminds me I need to make sure I get the oven started so we have something to put it in. And and this is the other cool thing about this is it can go from stovetop to oven, right? It's cast iron, but it's really easy to wash, and it's also dishwasher safe. So most cast iron is not, but the enameled is. The other really nice thing is if you happen to have a induction stovetop, which means it works with magnets, this will work on an induction, gas, and electric, okay? And then it's oven safe. So I'm gonna work on this, getting the sauce ready, and then we'll pull out the chicken because I did something really fun with the chicken. So this is 2 tablespoons of reduced fat cream cheese, a 1/4 cup of the reduced fat Hidden Valley Ranch. I'm using our measure all cup, and so you guys, because it was kind of like it's upside down, but actually this is the solid side, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually push the plunger and it's going to push right out. So things like honey, peanut butter, even brown sugar, it's easy because it'll push out. The other side is liquids. So it has the blue for liquids and the red for solids. So it's actually kind of a really fun, handy tool. And then it calls for a 1/4 cup of the Frank's hot wing sauce. Y'all, this is magic. So there's almost no calories in it whatsoever. So you can make anything you want taste like buffalo wings and not be worried about calories. So that's magic sauce right there. Put that in there. And then I think that was it. And I put this on the stove. Yep, so I'm gonna put this on the stove. Put that there. Move this over. We'll talk about that in a second. So we're gonna get this started on the stove while I shred the chicken. I'm gonna show y'all what I did with the chicken. Okay, so y'all can see it's right on the stove top. Put it on medium and let it start, and I'll kind of keep an eye on that. Okay, so over here, I actually sous vide the chicken. And for you guys who don't know what that is, that's a fancy word for water bath. All the fancy restaurants sous vide their meat. When you go to Ruth's Chris for your steak, they aren't pulling that steak out of the refrigerator and throwing it on the grill. Okay, what they do is they put that steak in a sous vide bath, and it cooks to the perfect temperature. Okay, I put this in at 4 o'clock this afternoon. I started warming up the water, and then at 4 o'clock I put this in, and it takes 2 to 4 hours. It doesn't matter. After 2 hours, it's cooked. but it's not going to overcook. Because guess what temperature the water is? The water's at 145. So the whole chicken breast isn't going to get any more cooked than 145 degrees. Okay, now I know you're taught that 160 is cooked with meat, with chicken, but when you're sous videing your meat, because of the way it's cooked and the fact that it's kept at that consistent temperature, it is safe. The bacteria is gone. It is perfectly safe. So now this big giant, this is one chicken breast that's over a pound, because you know how chicken breasts nowadays are giant, is going to be super tender and juicy. Okay, so I'm going to pull it out. This is our multi-cooker, and the multi-cooker is sous vide, pressure cooking, just like what you would call an Instant Pot, or slow cooker, all in one. And it makes rice. It can make homemade yogurt. It can sanitize bottles if you have small children at home. And so it's got a lot of different settings. It also sears, so you can cook in here. If you're going to do pressure cooking, you can sear first and then cook, which is great for roasts and other things. The best way to get flavor on your meat is to sear it first and get the crust on it. Okay, pull that off and set that over. So I'm going to grab this out. Now, like I said, the water's 145 degrees. See y'all, it's really not burning my hands. And I had it in our silicone reusable sealed silicone bags. You can put it in any kind of Ziploc bag or anything like that, but I like this because it's reusable. I'm just going to flip it inside out and put it in my dishwasher. Okay. And so it's been in there since, like I said, about 4 o'clock. Grab my tongs out of here. This is so juicy. Let me see if I can, I don't know if I can get it on the camera or not, but there are juices. This is not water in here. It's juices. Oh, yeah, you can't really see it, but it is very, very juicy. And for y'all, I don't like cooking chicken breasts, and they're healthy for you, but man, they get very tough very fast. So here we go. Out it comes. Now, when you're ordering a steak or you're cooking a steak, it comes out like it's been on the grill, right? They pull it out, and they usually cook it just under the temperature that you order it. They pull it out and they throw it on a hot grill or griddle and sear the outside really quick. That's it. So that's how they cook in sous vide. Okay, so I have these. I'm going to show you 2 different ways to shred this. These are our shredders, and they do they are magnetized, so they'll stay like that in your drawer. So for pulled pork and everything like that, like this, it is so awesome to just look at this. Take this around. I am just shredding this chicken. It is fully cooked and no problems. Look at that. I don't know about you guys, but when I cook chicken normally, I don't get this texture. Okay. Or we have something else called these are salad choppers. You throw things on the floor. Okay. So they are salad choppers, but I use them for meat all the time. They have 2 blades. Okay. So now instead, I'm going to take these and I'm just going to chop it. So you can do either way to do your chicken. This is great because you can do this and make it strips like for fajitas. It's all about looking fancy, but not working so hard. So either way works great. I wish you guys could taste this. It is cooked, y'all. This is the thickest part, and it's cooked through. You can see that it's absolutely cooked through and tender and juicy. So enough about that. This is just one of my favorite things is to sous vide the chicken. I'm going to add this shredded chicken now to our lovely mixture that's over there. And these work great on salad too, by the way, hence their name. You put all the vegetables in a bowl and just chop them up like this. Okay, so there's that. Move my stuff over. Okay, so let's come back over here. We have this bubbly, awesome cheese mix going. I got to get started a little bit. And it looks like it's pretty much there. I'm going to turn off the heat so we don't go any further with that. Smash down this. That's the cream cheese that's finishing up the melting. Look at that. Awesome, creamy, but low calorie buffalo sauce. Add in the chicken. I probably have way more chicken. It was 1 chicken breast. That was it. But I figured, heck, I'll just be eating on it all weekend anyway. Okay, that's another tip. For
I was just going to mention one thing, that when you eat healthy, you actually eat a lot more because you're not eating a lot of junk and stuff. Even though that bowl looks really big, if you're eating that as a meal, that's about 2 servings. So that'd feed like 2 people.
Oh my gosh. Well, that makes me feel better about it when I go crazy on it this weekend or tomorrow. This chicken breast, I watch for sales. I am really big on watching the ads, the grocery ads. And last week, Tom Thumb, the grocery store over here, had chicken breasts for 99 cents a pound. And then I seal it up and put it in the freezer. So I just pulled that out, so I didn't have to spend a ton of money on that. Okay. So that looks awesome. That looks fantastic. I'm really excited about this. So one other thing I want to show you, because it goes, now what you put on top is cheddar cheese. Now, David, do you buy pre-shredded cheese or do you shred it yourself?
I have to admit, I'm lazy in the kitchen. I buy pre-shredded. Well, the wife does. I don't do the shopping. I just do the.
So one thing about pre-shredded cheese is there's extra stuff in there to keep it from caking. It's got cellulose in it. You want to know what cellulose is? Wood pulp. You're eating wood pulp. So if you have the right graters, it is a cinch to grate. So this is 2 ounces of reduced fat cheddar cheese. I already weighed it out. We have a scale. And David, I'm sure you're real big on this too. If you weigh your food, then you can be sure that you're eating the right amount and not too much. This was exactly 2 ounces. The scale does pounds and ounces and other, units, and you can tear it so that you can. I used it, had a plate on there and I teared it. So this is exactly 2 ounces. And then because it's a small piece, I have a guard that goes over my grater. And I'm going to put this in there. And just like that, I have 2 ounces of shredded cheese without any additional ingredients. And we have several different thicknesses of graters. So I'm going to just add that on top. It also melts better and tastes better. Once you stop buying the bag stuff, you'll go, oh my gosh, it does taste different. Okay, put a little bit on top. And done. So this is going in the oven. That's it. How easy is that? David, this is a fantastic, if you're having friends over for a get together, this is a fast, easy, and impressive. And they won't even know it's low calorie.
It goes good with Aggie games, I think.
I think so. If we had an Aggie game this weekend, I would make it for that, but we have a bye this weekend. Okay. That was awesome. So now I'm gonna grab my recipe over here. Move it over. One thing I did want to show you is this is our large silicone resealable bag. We have 2 other sizes. This is the middle size. Then we also have one that's like this, but it's open on 2 sides for sandwiches. So you don't have to like shove and wrinkle and fall apart. It opens on 2 sides. And then we have a snack size. So those are great. My son's lunch goes in those. Okay, so now I'm going to use our rock crock. This is a really amazing vessel. It is one of a kind. You can only get this from Pampered Chef. It is ceramic, but it's put in a kiln at crazy high temperatures. So it is stovetop, oven, broiler, microwave, grill, and dishwasher safe. So you can cook on all of those surfaces with one vessel. Again, money saving, right? You buy this one thing and you can cook so many things easily in it and then throw it in the dishwasher. Okay, so I browned the chicken Italian sausage in it. I used our mix and chop spatula. Many of you may know our traditional mix and chop that we've had forever and ever and ever. And I still love it and I still use it. Okay, it's kind of this star effect to do your ground beef. But we have this new cousin, and it breaks it up, but then it also has holes so you can drain it and you can scoop. So I scoop out the sausage, and it's silicone, so it scrapes really nicely. Now this is being chicken sausage. The recipe says to remove the fat, but honestly, there's not that much down here. So once I get this out of here, I'm not going to have to really drain anything. I'm putting it on a plate with paper towel, so it'll absorb while we're waiting some of the extra. But there's just enough. It says leave a tablespoon, and there's just enough in here for me to cook the scallions. So I'm gonna go ahead and tip it real quick and get the rest of it out. But this rock crock is amazing. We have several sizes. This is the Dutch oven size. And the fact that I could put it in so many places and I can start it in one place and finish it in another is amazing.
We have 2 many computers at our house. Would that be a good gift for me to get my wife for Christmas, or should I buy it just because?
I like kitchen stuff for Christmas. So I'm not a good person to ask. Some people, I guess, are offended by that, but I like kitchen stuff for Christmas because it makes my life easier on the other side when I have to cook.
Pull things out of the dishwasher.
Yes.
Which is my job.
Well, see, she can throw it in and you can, or do you do the dishes or just empty the dishwasher?
Dishwasher. Rinse and then dishwasher.
Gotcha. Yep. So it says add the scallions in there and let them saute. Make sure I don't mess this up. That's the challenge with making something for the first time. And add the bacon. So here's what I did with the bacon. So it talks about in the recipe actually cooking it in the same pan, but I'm all about efficiency. So I cooked it in the microwave and I used our stoneware. And this is I sometimes use the rock crock square piece, but this is our toaster oven size stoneware. And our unglazed stoneware in October is 15% off. So you can get this for 15% off. If you host a party, you can then double dip and get 60% off that 15% off. So it's really awesome. Pampered Chef was founded 42 years ago this month. This is our Heritage Month, and it all started with stoneware. And stoneware is oven and microwave safe. Okay, so this is awesome. This also will go in our air fryer and in your toaster oven. So it's great. So I just lined it with paper towels so it didn't splatter. I have no grease anywhere that I have to deal with, and I have cooked bacon. So I'm just going to shred this up. I'm actually going to use the salad choppers I used on the chicken, and I am going to just quickly chop up this bacon and put it back in here with the onions. And there's really not much moisture, so I'm going to add just a teensy little bit of oil because there's nothing in there. We have these dispensers, the oil and vinegar dispensers, and you squeeze the side, and it has measurements on the side: 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, 3 teaspoons, and all the way to a tablespoon. So you know, I don't know about you, David, but sometimes when I'm cooking, I just like grab the bottle. It's about a tablespoon, right? I don't want to measure it. Well, that's dangerous if you're trying to watch your calories because oil goes up fast. So I now actually know exactly. I have 3 of them. I have one for olive oil, one for vegetable oil, and then I have one now for avocado oil. So I can cook with all 3. So I just put one teaspoon in there. So that, because there was nothing, and with this scraper, it pulled out all the moisture, and there was nothing for these onions to start getting broken down with. So we're gonna get that work in there. I'm gonna add the bacon. And I'll be honest, I've never had turkey bacon, so this is new for me. Do you eat turkey bacon a lot?
I'm muted because my dog wouldn't go outside. Turkey bacon is really all we eat now. I used to only eat regular bacon, but now you buy regular bacon for $8 and you cook it and it's all fat. So I'm pretty much a turkey bacon guy.
Makes sense. I'm going to see if I can convince my son to eat it. We'll see. Teenagers are harder to convince. He doesn't really have to worry about it. We always start with healthy habits when we're young. We try. Okay, so there's the bacon's ready to go. Then it says to add the garlic. Now here's a trick. You'll notice the recipe says onion first and then add the garlic. David, what happens to the garlic when you stick it in the pot? If you did just garlic?
it would, without the oil?
No, I mean, it just, how fast does it get from, it goes from
Oh, yeah, really
uncooked.
quick.
It goes really quick and you're like, oh no, now I've got burnt garlic. Well, when you put onions in with it, it slows that down.
I learned something new.
So that's why a lot of recipes will say do onions and then garlic. So I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. It's going a little crazy in here. Okay, so we have a garlic press, and this is, so I don't have to buy pre-done garlic. Again, it's healthier for you. If you have garlic in the jar in the refrigerator, sometimes you don't know if it's fresh or not. And I'm trying to find something where I put it. Oh, it's still on here. So this is the garlic press. You don't have to peel it. You just, getting ahead of myself and I don't have the thing off of it. And this is the old one. There we go. You just put the whole clove in there. Okay. And then I just press it through. So I'm going to do the 4 cloves of garlic, and I use the little brush to scrape it off and throw the peel is left inside. So I just scrape it out. So I get to use fresh garlic.
Fresh garlic definitely tastes better than jarred. We only use fresh at my house.
It makes a huge difference.
And I'm not even Italian, so.
And it's cheaper. It's way cheaper to buy a head of garlic than it is to buy a jar of garlic. So this makes it super easy. Another tip with garlic, we also have a garlic slicer. Did you know the difference between pressed or diced garlic and sliced garlic?
I'm getting ready to.
Sliced garlic is more mild than pressed or chopped because the oils in it haven't been crushed. So when you want a more mild flavor, or if you want to temper the oil and be able to pull the garlic out or kind of create pieces of garlic, you would slice it. If you want the stronger flavor, then you crush it or chop it or dice it or however you want to call it. Same result. Okay, so now I've got all this going in here, and it says, until it's fragrant, sausage back into the pot. How are we doing on time? I can't even tell what time it is.
We're 31 minutes in, so we're doing pretty good.
Yep. And I don't think I set a timer on this dip. I need to check on the dip. Almost there. Okay, so I've got the sausage back in here. And then it says, stir in the stock and the cauliflower. So again, I love that this recipe uses stock. It's all about the flavor. And stock has more flavor than chicken broth. So when you're trying to eat healthy, you add in flavor. Then you don't miss all the other garbage. This box is exactly 4 cups, so I don't have to measure anything. The other thing is, notice to make this dish, I've got 1 pot and then my stone, which I'll just have to rinse off with hot water because the stones, you don't use soap. You just rinse them off, hot water, dry them off, and you're done. So it's super easy. Okay, and then stock, the cauliflower, which I've already got ready to go. I think I'm going to cut a few things more up here. And a good knife is important in your kitchen. Makes all the difference. We have the professional line of knives. My favorite is the Silicone, which is what I'm using. Okay, so I'm gonna, that one's big too. Okay, so I'm gonna throw the cauliflower in. This gives you some body to the soup. It'll cook down. And salt and pepper. Where'd I set here? And I like to use the fresh ground salt and pepper a lot. So about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. This is the Himalayan sea salt. And this is the Pampered Chef salt grinder. And then pepper. Now, like I said, seasoning makes the dish, right? You can really do a lot of things just by changing the flavor. And Pampered Chef does have a whole line of seasonings that add flavor without the calories. You can pretty much eat chicken from every continent just by changing the flavor. You can go to Mexico, and then you can go over to Italy, and then you can go over, you can stay in the States, you can eat chili flavors. We have several new ones. We have everything but the bagel. We have everything but taco. We have Chipotle, Tex-Mex, 3 onion, garlic and herb, garlic and lemon, which is a really great one. Garlic and lemon is fantastic on fish and other things like that. Do you guys eat a lot of fish, David?
We do, once a week at least.
A lot of health benefits to eating the fish in your diet. So this now is just going to simmer, and then once it simmers for 10 minutes, then I add kale. Do you want to talk about how awesome kale is, David?
You know, kale is good except for when you just need to brush your teeth afterwards. That's the only negative thing, is it tends to get in your teeth. So enjoy your kale. It's terribly healthy. I mean, whether you put in ingredients to soften it up, you can bake it in the oven with just a little bit of oil on top of it, make kale chips, which are about $5 for a little bag at the health food store. But just brush your teeth before you go out. I learned that the hard way.
And I always pull the stems out because they're really, my dog's going to start barking now. The stems are really tough. So I just pull those out. But yeah, so then all that's left now is once this simmers a little bit and softens that cauliflower, which again is a super healthy food. Instead of potatoes, you use the cauliflower. And then I'll add the kale in, and I'll add the yogurt. It calls for Greek yogurt. This is one of my favorite substitutes. Another thing we have dips. There he goes. We have vegetable dips. So we have a French onion dip, and we have a garden vegetable. Sorry, he's distracting me. A garden vegetable dip, and it's a powder. And I just add it to a cup or a half a cup of the 0% Greek yogurt. And then I add the vegetables, and that's my veggie dip when I have friends over. So that's super healthy, right? There's almost no fat, or there is no fat, 0 fat and low calorie, and it's yogurt and the seasoning. And
That's
so
awesome.
easy.
My dog heard yours to try and figure out where he is. That's why I had to mute for a second.
The front door is still open with the glass, and so he's spying on the neighbors. So I think that was everything. Did I cover it? Oh, with this dip, I can pull it out now. Oh my gosh, it's bubbling. It looks gorgeous.
While you're pulling out, I was going to mention the Tuscaloosa soup. That is actually 4 servings. There's quite a bit there. Once again, when you use really healthy things, you need more. Most of the meals that recipes we use are about 500 calories or less. You know, you can go get a hamburger for about 1,200 calories. You can add fries for another few hundred. So this is really healthy, and you eat a lot, as I mentioned.
That is great because you want to feel full. You don't want to feel like you're dieting. And that's really the key. So here's this. It's very hot. But look how it's gorgeous. It looks fancy. It looks like you slaved in the kitchen for that. We made both of these really in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Other than the final stages, it's got to cook a little bit. But that looks so yummy. And then to serve it, you would just slice up celery and bell pepper instead of using crackers or bread.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so you substitute. That's one of the things I'm sure you really work on teaching is we want the crunch, but let's do it healthy.
Yeah. You just change one little thing here and there, and they'll start adding up really quickly. It's just like we don't make massive changes at once. We just try to change one habit at a time and stack one on the other.
Yes, that's awesome. So that's really all I got. Like I said, this month in October, the stoneware is 15% for everyone because we are in our Heritage Month. 42 years with Pampered Chef's been around. It's hard to imagine Doris started this company 42 years ago, taking her pizza stone to that very first party. And then stoneware for hosts, when you host a party, any of the stoneware, not even the glazed stoneware, is 60% off. So, and then you get 50% off items. If you liked the idea of the multi-cooker, which half of the challenge to eating healthy is planning and being able to feed yourself quickly. and not being tempted to go through the drive-through. So if you can do something in the pressure cooker, or the sous vide's nice because you do it earlier in the day and then you pull it out, and then you can just throw it on the stove real quick and sear either side, right? So that's really handy. Or slow cooking, because you can put it in the morning, come home, and it's ready. So I find that that's the key.
That is awesome, especially if you're tired and got kids or dogs in my case too. So if you like those recipes, I post about 1 or 2 recipes a week on my Facebook. It's just under David Quisenberry. And once again, if you want to talk to me more about, somebody says, well, what kind of people come to you? It's usually people that are either for fear or failure. The doctors frighten them with, you're going to go on diabetes meds, you're going to go on blood pressure meds, or they're tired of yet another failed diet like I was. So that's usually, you know, the people that are most interested in talking to me. Contact me at quisenberryhealth.com, or just find me on Facebook.
Awesome. And I'm on Facebook, Culinary Carolyn. We will both be posting this recording, so you can, if we saw the recording on Facebook, then you'll be able to find us that way. And absolutely, I watch David's recipes all the time. They're fantastic. They're like this, they're real food, but they're healthy. And then I've got all the stuff to help you be successful. And I've got the tips, the tricks, and the tools. And the advantage to coming through me is you've got me. So when you get the rock crock or you get the multi-cooker and you're like, okay, I know you said it was easy, but I'm confused, you can call me up and I can talk you through it, or I can answer questions. And Pampered Chef stands behind their products. Everything's got a warranty of some sort on it, and they'll stand behind their products. So thank you for watching the replay. And David, this was a lot of fun. Thank you for suggesting it.
We'll have to do it again sometime.
Absolutely. And y'all have a great evening, day, or whatever as you watch this. And we'll do it again.
Thank you. All right. Good night.
Good night.